Good afternoon, everyone. This is a surprise live, and I'm doing this live for one purpose and one purpose only because we believe in transparency and openness. And because a Bahamian gentleman called Rick Fox decided to make a post last night to ask questions of the leaders of all of the political parties. And I think it's good to answer questions as leader of a political party. We actually do this on a weekly basis. We're surprised that Rick Fox is interested in the public affairs of the Bahamas, and he doesn't know that this is something that we do on a regular basis. And so we wanted to take this time out to answer this Facebook post that he put out there. He had some questions that are very important questions, and I thought that all Bahamians should hear the answers to these questions. And so we decided to answer Rick Fox in this manner. I answer in this manner because I want Rick Fox and the entire Bahamian public to see that this is not a scripted answer from myself. This is from the heart. This is something that I live and I've been living for many years. This is not something we talk about. This is something that we do. This is our lives. This is not a special hobby for us. And so we wanted to answer his questions and show him where he can get more answers from us as an organization. And so that is why I tabled this Welcome Rick Fox, because Rick Fox has decided to form an organization that he calls the Bahamas Future Movement. And so I guess it's a civic movement or an activist movement. I'm not exactly 100% sure what it is yet, but this is a movement that Rick Fox has decided to launch. I want to say to Rick Fox, welcome. This is something that we have been doing for many years, that has been being done in this country, and we welcome you to join us in speaking up for the issues of this country. And so we're going to address it in a moment. So, to everyone, someone please tag Rick Fox. I'm not able to tag him at this time. Someone please tag Rick Fox so that he can be watching this, because this is mostly for him and to the benefit of all Bahamians who are listening. Please tag Rick Fox on Facebook. If you're watching on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever you're watching this, please tag Rick Fox so that he can get the answers that he wants, and and he can can answer his questions that he raised for himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, um, a lot of people reach out to me and said, Rick Fox is answering some questions. Why don't you answer him? And so that's why I decided to do this today. So I'm going to go through his questions. I'm going to read through it. I'm actually going to share my screen so that you can actually see this while I'm doing this. And you can be a part of this interactively. Again, because we believe in transparency, that's what we have been doing. But I'm going to go through this as we go. So please share. And we hope that by now that Rick Fox is watching this so that he can get the answers to his questions. Okay. So hopefully someone has tagged Rick Fox already and he's able to get these answers. Again, for us, this is real life. Um, this is not some interesting hobby or something that we should do on the side. This is our lives. Okay, and so on your screen now is the post that Rick Fox posted on uh, Facebook, and so I'm going to go through it with you and with Rick Fox. You can be a part of this. I'm going to try to make this live as efficient as possible. He said Bahamians deserve more than silence. Rick Fox, to start off, I agree with you 1000%. Bahamians deserve more than silence. And what do I mean by that? Not the silence of the government is not the most egregious thing. It is the silence of those who God has blessed with the opportunity to do more and to be more. Those who God has blessed with opportunities. It is the silence of those people who have a voice, who have a platform that is more egregious than the silence of the government. We have come to be accustomed to the silence of governments around the world. We in the Bahamas have come to be accustomed to the silence of our government. But it is the silence of the people that matter, who are not a part of the government, that actually hurts more. Evil men rule when good men do nothing, when good men are silent. That is the real silence that is hurting this country more than the silence of the government. And so we are glad that you have joined us on this quest to do something about the issues that really matter in this country. And so we're glad that you've broken your silence and now you are willing to stand up for what matters in this country. You are welcome, my Bahamian brother. It's time to take a stand. He goes on to say that many have asked him what party he's joining, and he talked about the estimated 350,000 Haitians that are going to be uh, maybe removed from America. I'm just paraphrasing. He also goes on to say that this asylum bill has been brought forward in silence without proper consultation, et cetera, et cetera. That's what he's alluding to, and I want to agree with him on all of these things that he has said. He talks about the rush, why uh, why the silence, what's coming. He asks all of these great questions, and I agree with him on all of these questions. But we didn't just ask questions. We decided to take to the streets. We decided when we saw this coming to speak to the public. We exposed that the bill had been tabled and we took action. And action is what is required now. And this is to Rick Fox and all of my Bahamian diaspora out there and all of my Bahamian residents in this country. It is action that is needed right now, not just questions. Questions are good. But what we did is when we saw the evil, when we saw what could happen to this country, we pushed the issue. We stepped forward and we invited all and sundry to join us in this quest. And so, yes, we see what's coming. Yes, we know the dangers. And we decided to educate the Bahamian public about this. We decided to have town hall meetings to educate the Bahamian public. We're not just asking questions. We're out there ready to get this done as an organization. And so, yes, my brother, we agree with you, but we also feel that this is going to take much more than just some questions. And that is why we decide to take action on these matters. Okay? Um, you say that we are a nation of 100,000 citizens, and will there be a spillover with these people who are coming? The spillover from America is something new. We've been getting spillovers from other countries for many years. And I want you to understand, Rick Fox, that this is something that we have been on the ground fighting. I see you say that you're spending $1 million to form this organization. I want you to understand that we've been spending our monies, not the government money, not anyone else's money, uh, not fortune, money from fortunes. We have been spending our money to jump on planes and show people what is going on and force them to protect our borders. When this government took over in in September of 2021, the COI jumped on a plane when the government was stalling about taking those persons who had started invading this country. They were stalling about taking them back. And so we jumped on a plane and forced the government's hand to send those persons back. And we protected our borders by doing that. No, we're not the government. But as a civic group, we spent the monies over these years, countless amount of money, to make sure that we defend our borders. We're not talking this, we're doing this. No, we don't have the resources of many persons out there, of many parties out there, but we did what we had to do to make sure that our borders are secure. We're not talking this, we're living this. When the shanty towns started to build up all over this country, we jumped on planes and made sure that the public knew and forced the government hand to do something about it. We're not talking this, we're doing this. And so that is what this is about. And there's a reason I keep stressing that, which I will get to later. He goes on to talk about um, the pattern is repeated with elections. The same silence appears and it's troubling, etc. You can see it on your screen to read it for yourself. And he wanted to ask some question. He said, since the by-election, I have asked every party the same questions. And so that's what he says in here. I assure you that I have not been aware of any questions that was asked of me by Rick Fox. I welcome any questions by him. I will inform you now that I reached out to Rick Fox through social media because I didn't have his number. I reached out to him through Facebook. I reached out to him through Instagram because I was told by Sawyer Boy that that is how they communicate. But I didn't get a response from Rick Fox at all. And so I think that I'll give you some advice, seeing that you're giving our country some advice, Rick Fox. If you want to speak to the leaders of parties, just reach out to them. Just call them, get in contact with them. All of them have offices. Reach out to them and say, hey, I want to sit with you. Here are the questions I have. I want to look you in your eye. When I decided to go into politics, that's what I did. I reached out to leaders, I sat with them, and I asked them questions. I looked them in the eye and I measured and weighed what they said based on what they were doing because you know what a man is going to do by what he has been doing. And so that's the advice that I would give Rick Fox on this one. Uh, Actually, reach out to the leaders and see what they have to say. I don't think that that would be an issue. But again, I can say that I reached out to Rick Fox and I did not get a response. But here, I'm glad since this post was brought to me, I'm glad to answer his questions and respond now that I'm made aware of this. Um, he asks, will you commit to a national day of voting so no Bahamian has to choose between democracy and survival? The answer, yes. That's an easy one. That's something, if you were following the COI from You Were Formed, we talked about similar things. And many persons are saying that Rick Fox is saying the same things that the COI has been saying. Has he talked to the COI? And I can answer those people. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know if he's been looking on our website or following us. I don't know. But we're saying basically the same things. Yes, we should have a day set aside for elections. It should be a national day where it can be like a holiday where persons who don't have to be to work can actually go and vote and they can know which day they have so they can set that day aside. They won't be traveling, et cetera, if they choose to vote. And so there's a lot more to it. But the answer to that question is yes. The second question that Rick Fox has is: will you increase transparency in ballot handling and counting so trust is earned, not demanded? The answer to that also is yes. We are transparency in this country, and we have fought for that. If you've watched the 2021 election, you will see that we were educating the people about the ballots and what was going on. When the FNM government was doing scandalous things with our ballot boxes, we were the ones exposing it. We were going live in the buses as the ballot boxes were being transported in 2021. We went live. To expose that the ballot boxes had been opened without any parties present. We went live in the safe room to show people what was going on. And so we have been the Freedom of Information Act for the Bahamian people. We have been the transparency for the Bahamian people. So you know what someone is going to do by what they have done. We have done what we can to make sure that this happens, and we will continue to do that also in government. All right. So we believe in the things, and we have said the same things that we believe that cameras should be used to watch the ballot boxes in the advance polls. We also believe that the advance poll boxes should not be mixed with any other boxes. Whatever goes into that box should be preserved, and that should be opened and counted separately on election day. And we believe that cameras should be there with the advance poll boxes at all times. And yes, we believe that cameras should and be allowed to be used at the polling stations so that we can get transparency and people can see exactly what is going on. If a presiding officer or returning officer is doing something out of order, if anything out of order is happening, we should be able to scroll through and look and focus on the polls that interest us so that we turn on the light to what is happening. Yes, we believe in that 100%. The next question that Rick Fox had: will you commit, will you guarantee secret, secure, verified votes? One person, one vote, one time. Yes. Now, there's some confusion about secret ballots. We have secret ballot. No one is supposed to know how you vote. And that means that you vote and you don't announce how you vote. And so, for example, if you're in an organization or the House of Assembly and you vote by standing or sitting, that's not a secret ballot. But if you vote and no one can know how you vote, that's a secret ballot. And the problem with the Bahamas is we have traceable ballots, which means that you can go back and you can look and see how this person votes because there's a number on the back of their card that corresponds with a counterfoil. Okay, and here's where the problem comes in with that. Some people are uncomfortable that the government can go through these 200,000 or 150,000 ballots and they can look and see how you voted if they have the time to go through all of that. And it is possible to happen. That is the truth. But here's the problem with not having the traceable ballots under corrupt governments, which we have experienced corrupt and cheating practices since we have been a party. Uh, if, for example, the government cheats, or a party cheats, I should say, a party cheats, someone votes who wasn't supposed to vote. And that person goes, they were not entitled to vote, they managed to vote, and then we identify it and we take it to election court. The election court says this person was not supposed to vote. Then they say their ballot should be removed. The problem is we don't know their ballot if it's not traceable. If that number is not there, we cannot go back and see which ballot was there so that we remove that PLP vote or that FNM vote or that COI vote. And so that's why they have a traceable ballot. And if we go, there's two sides to the sword. It could intimidate people that someone could know how they vote. But if there's cheating and you don't know which ballot to remove, then the cheating stands. And so, under this corrupt government, these corrupt governments, under this corrupt system, we need a way to go back and remove the ballots if they have cheated. And that's something that we are considering and we're going through. Once we get in, we're going to put things in place from countries that get this stuff right to make sure that we don't need traceable ballots, that the only way you voted is if you were entitled to vote. And there are some safeguards. I don't have time in this video to go through all of them, but we're going to make sure that the only persons who voted are persons who were entitled to vote, and once that happens, then we can get rid of the traceable ballots like many other countries did. And so the full thing has to be thought through to make sure that you don't want people intimidated because they may be in fear. But I say to all of my Bahamian people, it's time to stand up. It's time to let them know you can vote against them. It's time to have your stance, have a freedom to vote. That's democracy. In America, you can register as Democrat, Republican, or Independent because your vote is your choice. In the Bahamas, we have to get rid of that fear and we have to be willing to vote, whether they know or not. But we're gonna be the first party to get rid of victimization in this country. The first party. We're gonna make sure that Bahamians are not victimized for any reason in this country, and we're the only party that's gonna be able to do it. And so that's why I wanted to answer that question for Rick Fox. So yes, to that question also, we're gonna guarantee all of those things and put some things in place to make sure that it is safe. In countries like Estonia, they are able to vote with electronic voting. That's verified because they have a dongle. I am an e-resident of Estonia. And so they have a dongle where you can actually use that and you can vote, and that verifies that you are. It's a card that's onto a dongle, and your card verifies that it's you using that computer, and they know that that is you. And so you are verified. So once you go on that computer, anything you do is verified that it's you doing it. And that's another good idea. But we're going to take the best from around the world and we're going to move to the next level with that. Next, will you commit to addressing these issues before calling the next general election? Yes, we have been doing that. As I said, we have been fighting this battle. We have been pushing for this, and we are willing to push even more for all of these things that you have addressed and the other things that are coming up, other questions that you have. We are not just willing to do this. We have been addressing these things, and we will continue to address these things. And I would hope that you've been really watching what's going on and you can see that we have been addressing these things as a political party. All right. And he said these aren't partisan questions, and he is correct with that. Um, he says what is concerning is not disagreement on their part; it is refusal to even engage. So I don't know if he's talking about all the parties. I don't know that he has engaged the parties because he hasn't engaged us. He says refusal to even engage on borders, on ballots, on what matters most. Their silence can no longer be the answer. And so if he's talking about all the political parties, I don't think he can be referencing us because we've not been silent on these issues. We have been taking action on all of these issues. We have been the fight on these issues. We have been educating the Bahamian public on all of these issues, on their rights, on their constitution, on all of these matters. So to see these things in these questions, he may be talking about the PLP and FNM, but he cannot be talking about all the party leaders as he is saying. He said, why I haven't chosen a party?" He said, I won't offer loyalty to a system that treats transparency as a threat. I won't choose sides when neither side is willing to state its position. This is not avoidance, this is accountability. Um, I have been, and again, we have been stating our position on all of these things. And anyone who has been watching any politics in the Bahamas would actually know that. He says, I have been open about my interest in serving. I have been honest about my questions, my values, and the seriousness with which I am approaching this moment. I am not hiding, I am listening, I am learning, and I am doing this the way I approach every every arena I've competed in sports and entertainment. Be open, be honest, be inquisitive, be willing to learn how to win without losing your principles. A new path forward. He said that at this point, today I am launching the Bahamas Future Movement, not a political party, a civic platform, nonpartisan, uncompromising, one mission, forcing transparency where silence has taken hold. He said that we will, meaning his organization, give Bahamians a voice loud enough to be heard. Hold every party accountable before votes are cast. Make transparency the price of seeking power. And so I want to say to you, Rick Fox, that I agree with everything that you're saying, but you're a little late to the game. We have been doing this in the Bahamas, and we've been spending our money to do this. Because the next thing you said is, I'm investing $1 million of my own money to build this movement. No donors, no strings, accountable only to the Bahamian people. And so I want to say to you, this particular movement started as a movement. It's called Bahamian Evolution. We spent our own money and produced documentaries. Every week, we produce a highly produced and professional documentary to educate the Bahamian people about their natural resources. We went on a weekly basis for all of these years without skipping a beat, sometimes twice a week, sometimes more. We settled on doing it once a week on Sundays. It used to be Sundays and Tuesdays, sometimes Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. We educate the Bahamian public every week. And not only do we do that, we open ourselves to questioning from the Bahamian people every single week. We answer the questions, we let them call in. We actually let them come in our studio audience so they can ask whatever question they want and so that they can express themselves. So, what is that? That's a town hall meeting every single week. We have invested our resources to make sure that this can happen. And like you said, our money. No donors, no strings, accountability only to the Bahamian people. And we get our money from. And so we've been doing everything that you're talking about. We've educated Bahamians about the things that you're interested in. We even educated them about your business. We talked about carbon credits. We educated the Bahamian public about carbon credits, which you are now interested in. When we were in this fight about carbon credits, we stood alone. I was vilified and told that carbon credits is, the public was told that carbon credits is not real, that I'm lying about carbon credits, that it's a scam. It's not true. Before the election, I stood on my own. I gave your company as one of the examples of what was really going on out there. And I was ridiculed. But now Everyone is talking about carbon credits and everyone is trying to benefit from it. But we want the Bahamian people to benefit from it through a sovereign wealth fund. We're on the same page. We're just informing you that what you're talking about, we've been doing for many years, including the investment. I don't know. Our investment so far may match what you're saying that you're invested in this organization. We weren't counting. But we know that it has been a pretty penny that we've invested to travel throughout this country with town hall meetings and educate the Bahamian public with documentaries and everything that we have been doing for all this time. We've done that, and we're going to continue to do it. You gave a challenge. You said the challenge to every political party and leader. You said, tell us where you stand on election integrity. I've done that. Election integrity is the most critical part of our democracy. And we are not just talking about this, we're not just telling you where we stand, we have been fighting for this. We have been educating the Bahamian public, and we have been doing what we can to make sure that there is election integrity to the point of making sure that our ballot boxes did not leave without being secured. We stood in front of the cars. This by election was not the first time we stood in front of the vehicle to stop the boxes. We did the same thing at the general election in Pinewood Gardens. They tried to send the boxes without being sealed, and we stood in front of the bus and made sure it didn't leave. We went live and educated the Bahamian people to what was going on and forced the government to stand down. Again, we're not talking this, we're not asking questions. We've been doing this, my brother. You said, tell us your plan for border preparedness. We'll get to that. Tell us what you know and what you don't. Publicly, clearly, and now. That's what Rick Fox had to say. He said, the moment any party answers these questions in good faith, I will listen. I will engage. I will work together for the future of our country. Thank you for that. We welcome you to the arena. And so I want to get to the question that he asked for border preparedness. And so, Rick Fox, we started a 2026 campaign, not with dancing, not with hype, not with twerking, not with music. We started our campaign with education. It was called the Vision 2030 launch. It was all over national TV, broadcast to the entire nation. We spent our money to do that. And we invited people to the IMAX theater. The IMAX theater was full. People were sitting in the aisles on the floor, in the hallway outside. They were outside in the parking lot. They had to stop letting people in. We started with education, not entertainment. And we informed the Bahamian people of what we planned to do. Not only did we do that, we decided to take it another step further, Mr. Fox. We decided to put it on our website, where it still remains to this day. We put on our website our entire plan for this country. Not the entire plan, but most of our plan for this country. And what it is a proposal. And so what we did with our proposal was we put it on our website to allow persons to go there and browse what we proposed. And at the bottom of it, they are able to go there and add their questions or comments, suggest things that they want to take away from it, that they want to add to it. And so persons are able to contribute to it. And so you, my Bahamian brother, are able to go to our plan and contribute to it. Ask all the questions that you want. We made this interactive. This is the first plan for the Bahamian people that the Bahamian public is allowed to contribute to. Party manifestos come from some dark room somewhere by financial donors, and they just tell you what they're going to do. And it's just bullet points. We gave plans to show exactly what it is we're going to be doing in this country. And we set out to to speak to professionals in these various industries and to address what these professionals said. So what you're seeing on your screen right now, Mr. Fox, is our website is coalitionofindependence.com. You said you're interested in learning, so you can go to our website and you can see the amazing documentaries that we did that started this movement. You can browse my Facebook page and go back to lives from many years back. and you can see all of the things that we've been covering all of this time, educating the Bahamian public. It's still right there, and it is an amazing resource. But if you look at the screen that's in front of you right now, you will see. We change the display so you can see this better. Yes, you can see that. That's our website, and the first menu is Vision 2030. Right there is Vision 2030, and you can scroll down on Vision 2030, and you can see our vision for healthcare, our vision for tourism, our vision for land, our vision for entrepreneurs, our vision for energy reform, our vision for good governance. That's the one you're interested in. Our vision for immigration, our vision for natural disasters and preparedness. Yes, the first party to put out a plan for natural disasters because we're in a hurricane belt. Our vision for transport, our vision for education, our vision for the elderly. Yes, we have a vision for the elderly. Our vision for culture, our vision for the disabled, vision for banking, et cetera, sovereign wealth fund, crime, etc. And so these are some of the areas we decided to put out now. And so you asked about our vision for immigration and border security, and so that comes under immigration. This is one of the shortest visions that we did because this is so simple, and I want to run through this for you because you had questions, and so I want to answer these questions for you. Um, Let me see if I can expand this. Yes, I want to answer these questions for you. So you can actually go here and look this up for yourself on our website. If you use a computer, you can browse it there. If you're using a phone, you have to click on it and download it because your phone browser won't pull up this PDF like this in this book form. And so we did it in a book form so that you can see it. And we started out in this by saying the Coalition of Independence is committed to restoring Bahamian sovereignty, securing our borders, and preserving our birthright. That's our plan. Okay? And so this is what we're doing. And not only did we put this in a book, we've been living this. We've been fighting for this. And as you can see, as you open the book, let's go through it. I'm going to browse through this as quick as I can. And we start with that same comment. Uh, we start out by saying, what is an organic Bahamian? An organic Bahamian is a person who was born inside or outside of the Bahamas, one of whose parents is a Bahamian. That's you. One, declaring national sovereignty, state of emergency, and amnesty. And this is what we're going to do. Immediately when we get in, we're going to declare a state of emergency as it relates to immigration because we have to fix it, similar to what Trump did at the border. But we are going to declare a state of emergency so that we can fix this problem. And I'm not going to explain what that means, but that gives us certain powers and it will give our immigration officers certain powers. We're going to take immediate action. Upon taking office, we will declare a state of emergency to confront the illegal immigration crisis head on. We're going to have a 1 month amnesty. An initial amnesty period will be announced, allowing immigrants to voluntarily turn themselves in. That don't mean you're going to get away with anything. That means you turn yourself in. Don't make us have to come look for you. Conditional registration. Those who come forward will be allowed to remain if they secure legal employment and live in approved housing outside of shanty towns. Repatriation option. Individuals without proper employment, that means you're not already working for someone and you can't have a job that Bahamians need. Without proper employment or housing will be registered and deported with the option to return upon meeting criteria for legal employment. That means that we have some people who've been living here for a while, they don't have a job, they don't have a proper place to stay, you got to go home. And so you're going to go to your country, but we're going to give you the option because you turned yourself in. You worked with us, you saved us some money and time. And again, this is a proposal and we're going to let you be able to come back. Why? Because when you come back to help us build the new Bahamas, you know the Bahamas. You're not like a stranger that comes here and got to learn everything. You already know the Bahamas. And so we can allow you to come, but that's because you didn't force us to have to spend millions of dollars to come and track you down, to run you down. And so that is the compromise that we are willing to give because we contributed to this by hiring persons and housing persons, etc. The consequence for non-compliance: illegal migrants who refuse to come forward and turn themselves in will be tracked, arrested, and sentenced to hard labor. Their labor will contribute to building vital public infrastructure, schools, hospital, government buildings, etc., and more, ensuring they repay their debt to our nation. So they're going to pay for their illegal activity by working for us to help the build the things that this country needs. Next, to securing our borders, the seawall naval blockade. We are going to have a naval blockade immediately using our defense force and our immigration, who's going to be supplied with boats. Now, those boats are going to come eventually. It's going to start with the defense force, but we're going to provide immigration with everything they need. We're going to have robust maritime security. We will establish a naval blockade along our southern marine border, dubbed the seawall. We're going to use advanced technology, uh, uh, long range radars, drones, fast boats, etc. Make sure this can happen. You can go and read it yourself. I'm browsing through it. Interdiction procedures. Upon upon detection of an illegal vessel, rapid response teams will intercept immediately. Well, that gives some strategy. All right. So I'm not going to go back in fully. Assessment management. Reforming immigration policy, legal entry, zero tolerance policy. Illegal immigration will be eradicated. That is a promise. That is a guarantee. Anyone entering the Bahamas unlawfully will be permanently banned from obtaining any legal status. So if you enter this country illegally, moving forward, you will never be able to get any status in this country. I heard the leader of the opposition said there will be no pathway to citizenship for those persons. I don't know what kind of game he's playing. If you enter illegally, the only pathway for you is to jail and to hard labor. And after you finish your time and paying back our society, then you will go back to where you come from and you will never be allowed in this country again. You will never get status in this country. We are going to be strict and stern with that. So the thing that the leader of the opposition is talking about is nonsense because it still allows them to get papers and to be regularized. End to naturalization. This is important. Only those born Bahamian will qualify for citizenship. We will repeal the current Bahamas Nationality Act to ensure that the practice of naturalization, allowing non Bahamians to claim citizenship, is terminated. There will be no more naturalizations. If you are not a Bahamian at birth, you will never be able to become a Bahamian. Now, persons who come and contribute to this country, you will be able to become a resident. And residency is fine, but you will not be able to vote in our elections or hold high office in this country. We will protect our sovereignty. And so we are surrounded by millions of people. They will no longer be able to come here and be a threat to our sovereignty. We will protect our borders, protect our sovereignty, and protect the future of this country for all Bahamians. There's going to be a crackdown on corruption. There will be a commission of inquiry. A full scale investigation will audit and review our immigration processes. The commission of inquiry will target widespread corruption in passport issuances and other immigration matters, ensuring that those who profit by undermining our birthright are held accountable. Okay, this is in writing for you, Mr. Fox, and you can go and see this on our website. Next, accountability for employers and facilitators. There will be strict enforcement. Employers, landlords, and anyone who harbors illegal immigrants will face severe penalties. Graduated sanctions. The first offense will incur a fine, with subsequent offenses leading to revocation of business license. So the first time you hire them, okay, you get a fine. If you do it again, you will not do business in this country because we are seeing this as a matter of national security. This is a serious existential threat to the Bahamian people. We take this seriously. Community involvement. We are going to have volunteer deputizations. Bahamian volunteers will be trained and deputized to assist in monitoring areas uh, uh, vulnerable to illegal immigration, such as shanty towns and workspaces. Of course, we're going to eliminate those shanty towns, but Bahamians will be deputized. And so we're going to have reserve immigration officers and we're going to deputize Bahamians and we're going to give any Bahamian citizen the right to, if they see an illegal immigrant, that they can seize that person, call the authorities, and they will be rewarded. We're going to make sure we clean up this nation. Also, fishermen on boats will be deputized. I want you to understand this, that fishermen on boats will be deputized. They will be allowed to arm themselves out to sea to to help us protect our waters. And so, if there are Dominicans in this country poaching, it's not only the illegal immigrations from Haiti in the south. If there are Dominican fishermen in our waters, our fishermen will be allowed to take over their ships and commandeer that ship, and those fishermen who take that boat will now own that boat and everything on that boat. So all of their catch will go to those fishermen, and that boat will go to them. And now the Bahamian fishermen, who have a right to be in our waters, will be able to get that boat. We're going to deputize our persons at sea to make sure we protect our waters. Community involved, okay, infrastructure and economic, etc., housing, etc. We are going to, instead of having shanty towns, for those who come here legally to help us build the new Bahamas, of course, we're going to need some of your carbon neutral building material to be able to do some of this. When we allow these persons come in to build the new Bahamas, guess what? We're going to put them in housing that is built for that purpose, in apartment complexes that immigrants are going to be able to go into, and they're going to pay for that. That's not going to be free. They're going to pay for that, and the money will go to the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and we will all benefit for that. Of course, that's a different process than building housing for Bahamians to be able to make every Bahamian a homeowner. This is going to happen simultaneously. But for immigrants, there will be no shanty town because we're going to build quickly complexes to make sure that they have somewhere with sense to live and that we will benefit from their presence. So Dubai has 300,000 citizens, but their total population is 3 million. And so all those persons who come in to work and help build Dubai and work for the citizens, they have to live somewhere. And so, can you imagine while we're building the new Bahamas, these people are living, and because they are living there, it's going to our sovereign wealth fund. The money is being invested in the stock market, and the dividends from that, the return on investment, goes to every single Bahamian. You see, there's a different kind of mindset. And so, healthcare for expats, special healthcare. Expats and legal immigrants will be required comprehensive health insurance, ensuring full coverage and reducing strain on the public health service. So we're not going to be taking care of immigrants anymore. There will be no illegal immigrants, but the legal ones that come, they have to get health insurance. And their health insurance is going to cover their health care. It won't be free for them. Healthcare will be free for Bahamians, but it won't be free for the migrants. And so they're going to pay health coverage to cover their health care. All right. And that will help cover healthcare for Bahamians also, but that's another story for another day. We're going to strengthen international and domestic partnerships, collaboration with neighboring nations. All right. Let me just try to speed through this quickly. And this is the complex that we were talking about. Instead of the shanty towns on the left, now we're going to have proper complexes, and we have started doing plans and all that for all of these things. This is not a party that just talks. We have plans in place already to do a lot of what we are talking about. All right. And this isn't something we just popped up because you asked questions. This has been with us since 2021 when we did Vision 2025. Remittance. One of the things I wanted you to see was that we're going to make Haiti help to pay for our immigration because they've been a big part of what's been going on. But other countries around us are going to help to do that. We're going to special taxes will be imposed on remittances to Haiti to help cover repatriation and enforcement costs. Okay, so Western Union, Cash and Go, these companies that are doing it, we're going to have a special remittance to make sure that they can help us cover the cost of these boats, the fuel, and everything else that we need to get done what we need to get done. All right. So, in other words, Haiti is going to help us pay for this. Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Cuba, whoever these countries are, they're going to help us pay for it. But the big bulk right now is from Haiti. And so we're going to make sure that we're covered for the expenses that we're going to have. Political and social safeguards, protecting national offices. So that just goes to say that no foreigner will be able to, migrant will be able to hold any major office, preserving Bahamian identity. Only those with an organic Bahamian heritage may hold senior government positions, etc. We're going to empower immigration officers. And also, something important in here is there will be no more deed polls for foreigners. If you are a foreigner living in our country, you cannot have a deed poll. And that is because persons have been taking advantage of that and they have been assimilating and taking Bahamian names and Bahamian heritage. And so they've been changing their names so they can look like a Bahamian and disappear among us and become us. And so Bahamians can change their name as much as they want. But if you are a migrant to this country, you will not be able to do a deed poll in this country moving forward. We need to know who you are. And we need to continue to know who you are. Our papers are full of deed polls of people changing their names to Bahamian names so that they can assimilate. Even Chinese are now doing it. We had a Chinese change their name to Davis the other day so that they could easily go over to the United States. All right. So there's much more to this, including performance bonuses, etc., for immigration officers and other things in there. But we invite you to go and look at our long-term goals, our short-term goals, etc., etc., so you can see exactly what we're talking about. And so you wanted to talk about our plans. That asylum bill is going to be chopped down. That is going to be revoked immediately. We're not the FNM. The FNM said that VAT was bad when they were bringing VAT on the public and that they were going to repeal VAT when they got in. Instead, they increased VAT. They increased it 60 plus percent. The FNM lies. They're a deceitful party. And so do not believe the FNM. I'm talking to the Bahamian public now. When they say that they're going to repeal this asylum bill, this is their asylum bill. Don't fall for that. All right. I'm talking quickly because I don't want this to be a long live today because I have a meeting coming up in a few minutes. And so if you go to Vision 2030, you'll also see our vision for good governance that talk about how we're going to modernize this country, how we're going to transform this country. It's a very good read. Just go to our website and read it and see some of the things that we're going to do and we want to do to transform this nation. I think you'll be pleased with what you see. I hope I've answered your questions in that way. I think I've covered most of your questions. Border preparedness, election integrity. I think those are the things that you focus on. But I see the things that you're focusing on, Rick Fox, but there are some other issues that really concern Bahamians. And I know that those are your issues, but there are issues that Bahamians are really concerned with. We are concerned with proper health care. We're concerned with that. Both the PLP and FNM have failed us on these things. Give me a sec. I see that my camera has gone down. Just give me a sec to address that. Okay, I had to switch cameras. I'm so sorry about that. I'm going to have to end this with a different camera. But uh, the questions that you asked, you said that once a party answers you, um, you want answers to these questions. But the problem is, the PLP and FNM have not given transparency. In all these years, they've not given us a Freedom of Information Act or anti-corruption. They can answer your questions, but the Bahamians won't trust them, even if you trust them. We won't trust them. You could trust one of those two parties that have been failing us for 53 years, 50 in a few months. You can trust them, but we don't trust them because despite what they promise, they've always lied to us. They've always failed us. And I don't want to make this sound extreme or like I'm hitting them hard or attacking them. I'm not. But I'm a Bahamian who has had to live with the consequences of their actions. I'm a Bahamian. And we are a group of Bahamians who decided to step forward, like yourselves. We're not career politicians. We decided to step forward because we believe that it's the right thing. And so, Rick Fox, I sent this out there to you. I hope I've answered your question. Normally, I take calls from the general public. Um, I can do that for a minute. I still got 10 minutes to my meeting. If anyone has a question, if they feel that, how do you feel about Rick Fox and the question that he asks? How do you feel about the facts that I answered him? Did I answer him? If there's something else that he needs, or Rick Fox, if you're watching, you can call at this time. Because like I said, I've reached out to you, but I didn't get an answer. The phone number is 803-5995, and someone can send that to Rick Fox also. Although I had someone that both of us know who was meeting with him. I asked him to give him my number, and I didn't hear back on whether he got the number. But that's the number, 803-5995, and he can call me anytime. But you can call in right now if you have any questions or what I just said for the Bahamian public, because we do this all the time. I don't just talk and don't hear from the Bahamian people. 803-5995. You can call in regular line or WhatsApp call. You got to call quick. I got 10 minutes. Don't be shy. 803-5995. You're going to put your comments up there so you can see your comments. The number is right there on the screen, 803-5995. You can call in now. Rick Fox can also call in if he has any questions. 803-5995. And put your comments on there so you can see what everyone is saying. 803-5995. That's the number. So anyone, you want to call in? This is your time. All right. 803-5995. So I hope I answered your questions, Rick Fox. Every question that you have, you can go to our Vision 2030 or Vision 2025, and you can get the answers to them. We have documentaries on there that you can see what's really been going on in this country, and you can be a part of it. And so, like I said to you already, this is not about asking questions. Everything that you address, we've been living this. We've been fighting for this. We've been educating the Bahamian public. We have been the Freedom of Information Act. Everything you're saying, we've been doing. So everyone watching this, let's see if Rick Fox reaches out to me. Let's see if he responds or if he doesn't see this live. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're live. Hey, good night, Mr. President. Good night. Is this Rick Fox? Hey, don't know. No, you're not. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, well, hey, I mean, I listened to Rick Fox on the radio being interviewed by one of on I mean, with his sentiments at that time, it like you said earlier in the show, about it resonated to what the COI and UDC talking about. So I don't see. I mean, I'm watching and waiting on to see what the really choice is going to be. But Rick Fox, if you're there listening, you know, the COI is the choice to go because at the end of the day, the PLP and the FNL, for you to make a move to either one of those parties, if he ain't sending too much, he ain't sending a good message in my view to the electorate because they're not sending, they're not the party of the party of choice today. So I'm looking forward to you. I'm looking forward to see what your choice is going to be moving forward. But the president continue to do the wonderful job that you all been doing. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. All right. So, Rick Fox has said, he's forming this organization, which we started out with that, and he plans on investing about $1 million in that. I'm sure that we have spent more than $1 million since we've been doing this, including the three elections that we have taken part in, um, and all of the other things that we've been doing. I'm sure that we have spent over $1 million. So while we are glad that Rick Fox will invest maybe in this economy, I don't know what he's going to spend money on, but I can assure you that we've already done more than that as regular Bahamians who decided to just come and take a stand. All right. So while we're impressed with your willingness to do that, I can tell you that there are Bahamians who have already done that, and we continue to do that. And with this election coming up, we're going to end up way over that budget. Good day, you're live.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Bain. Mr. Bain, I just want to thank you for your transparency, your openness, and willingness to hear and listen to the Bahamian people and to answer questions that have been on our minds for so long. Thank you for standing up for the Bahamian people. And I just want to say, my family have voted PLP all of our lives, and we will be voting for the COI.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Bain, you are the real deal. Thanks for answering our questions.
Thank you, my brother. You know, one curious thing I saw in this whole saga was an interview with Michael Pintard. It was very curious. And the reason I say that is okay, Mr. Caller. Okay, hold the line, caller, get with you. They was talking to Michael Pintard about his transactions with Rick Fox prior to that. Michael Pintard said that he spoke to him. He was Minister of Youth, Sports, and Culture, and he spoke to him about some sports activities, and he was impressed with the network of people that Rick Fox could hook them up with, et cetera, et cetera. But guess what? Nothing came of that. And so Michael Pintard was a failure as relates to that because you're saying that you had the person who could get the investments, who got the connections, et cetera. But why didn't nothing come of it? Michael Pintar should have used that opportunity to better sports for our young people with those connections. But again, him saying that shows that he failed. And this is a man who wants to be prime minister. I'm not saying that to attack him. This is a reality. We were paying him to get these kinds of stuff done. This is just a reality. And he failed. Next, he said that he talked to him about opportunities with acting and filmmaking, etc., for the small screen. But guess what? That didn't come to fruition. So again, Michael failed. He keeps giving examples of stuff where he was a failure. Someone asked him about Ministry of Agriculture, and what he did, he said there was a policy where they're going to force hotels at 75% or some number of the products that they come from the Bahamas. So that never came to fruition. So he keeps giving us examples of his failure when they ask him about what he did as a minister. And that's concerning to a lot of people. But yet there are FNMs who are saying Michael Pintard is going to bring the change. He's the way. People say talk about Pintard too much. Um, I'm just being real that the man was in the position. And we know that the PLP is failing now, just so we balance this. The PLP is failing now at this. But I don't want people to swing to the other side and think they're going to get any better because there's new leadership. He was a leader of youth, sports, and culture. And he said that he met with Rick Fox and he talked about all this opportunity, but nothing came of it. Think about that, Bahamas. Okay, call, I need you to be quick as possible. Go ahead. Yes, I just wanted to give a little on what you was talking about with Mr. Fox. Thank you so much for having this platform that we can actually express ourselves. In my opinion, like many others in the Bahamas today, they have come a long way of brushing their egos aside to actually follow your lead in going to the New Bahamas. But it takes a man of substance to brush aside his own intellectual ego and embrace a vision as such that you have presented with your colleagues to the Bahamian people for empowerment. Rick Fox coming to the scene now at a late stage in the game has to be looked at with a raised eyebrow. What does it stand for? If he had in fact followed the posture of the Bahamian economy, the Bahamian politics, he would know who has been the voice of Bahamians. And that's all I'll say for this evening. And thank you once again, Mr. Payne. I know you're a busy man. Thank you, man. And so we see some calls. A person was trying to call through. You got a couple minutes, so try to get through as quickly as possible. I see someone's calling from a regular line. 803-5995 is the number. I don't know if that regular line trying to call was Rick Fox. If it was, then you call back now before we sign off. I don't want to make this long. I don't want him to have to go to a 2 hour video to watch and see what our policy is. But he asked for this. And as you can see, the reason I did it in the video is so he can see that this is from the heart. This isn't any script that I'm going to sit down and read slowly to the Bahamian people This is in my heart. This is the reality. This is what we're going to do. This is what we believe in. Okay, it's another number calling. Good afternoon. You're live.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, yes, Mr. Ben?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Listen, I really want to know what you're going to do. I mean, as soon as you hear of it, what you're going to do with this Bahamas Air Salvo, man. I have an app on my phone where I see Bahamas Air making some frequent trips to Haiti. And the thing about it, we have islands in the Bahamas that Bahamas Air don't even assist. Don't even land and you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
come on, man.
Our
What you
vision,
gonna do with
our
this,
vision
man?
for transportation and road works is now going to be under the Ministry of Transportation. Our vision for transportation is on our website, and definitely we're going to stop those trips immediately until we could get that in order. And we're going to make sure that we have flights going to every island in this nation. So you're going to be able to get from Inagua to Grand Bahama in the same day in the Bahamas. All right, and
Yeah.
every day of the week. And so we're gonna treat our planes like bus routes or train routes, where one set of plane just does the routes back and forward in the Southern Islands, then in the Middle Islands, Central Islands, and then in the Northern Islands. And that way you can hop off the plane if you reach to your island, or stay on the plane if you go into the next island on the route. And by that way, you can get from the Anagua in the south all the way up to Grand Bahama and Abaco in the north in the same day. And so that way, tourists can come here and they don't have to wait till the next day. They don't have to overnight. You don't have to overnight anywhere. You won't go to Auckland and be stuck there for 3 or 4 days before another plane can come. Things can be moving every single day, and it's going to be more efficient this way. All right. But our plans are right there for everyone to see. All right.
I mean, listen, I want not to eat up too much of your time, but since I noticed Bahamas Air going to Haiti, I don't even fly on our airline no more. I mean, I just, if I go into Freeport or any other island, I go on Western and I don't even fool with that airline no more.
Yeah, and we won't. I understand, and we won't be
I'll
using.
go with Fred Mitchell and them, and then the thing about it, he when he come on and he make the speech, he know that the Heman know what he was doing. So he was like thinking his feet is up in the air. So what he is doing is he's trying to put this fight on, come on, like with this with this radical speeches, like we forget about what he did and what he doing.
Okay, now this is a special live. We can't talk about everything on this live. All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right. See you later. All right. So our planes won't be used to repatriate anyone to Haiti anymore. All right. Our Bahamas airplanes won't be used for that. Let's take this other call. Good afternoon. You're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, it's Lincoln Bain.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Hello,
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Mr. Bain. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I want the country to know that you are the only one who's trying to educate the populace in this country. All the other leaders have not done anything to educate the people. And if there's only one thing I want to give you praise for, it's educating us.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say any more. I'm not going to say any more right now because I know other people wants to get in.
Thank
But I
you.
appreciate what you're doing. And I know it's going to pay off sometime, someday. Just hold the faith and hold the fort and keep going.
Thank you, my brother.
Don't give up.
I appreciate you. All right.
Thank you.
8035995. The only reason I'm still live is because I'm giving Rick Fox a chance to call. If he wants to call in, he said he wanted us to do it now. He wanted us to do it publicly. And so here we are, open to give him a chance to see what he is going to do. If he's going to reach out in any event, he can see this. Someone tag this, go on his page and take the link from this live, and you can put it in his post in the comments. Send it to him in a message so that he can see this live and see what we were talking about. And if I wasn't able to answer his questions, let him know that I'm live every Sunday at 5 o'clock. And he can also call me at 803-5995. All right. I think that's it. That's all the calls I can take for the day. I didn't hear from Rick Fox, but we decided to do this because he said that he wanted to learn and that he was willing to learn. In this country, as it relates to what's really happening in the country, I think you should be paying attention to the COI and what's going on. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We have a special meeting that I have to go to and get started. But I just wanted to do this because people were calling me and asking me about this and saying that he had some questions. And of course, we're very open. And I just wanted people to know that we did reach out to him, but we did not get a response. But we're just seeing him put posts on social media. And so he's a Bahamian, and all of you are Bahamians. And just like I answer your questions, we're going to answer his questions, and we're going to move forward from there. But if Rick Fox decides that he believes in the things that he's saying, and he joins the PLP or the FNM, he doesn't really believe that. It has to be, it's my opinion, my humble opinion. There has to be something else going on because to know what these parties have done for all these years, how they have failed us for all these years, and deceived us and lied to us, and not produced in any area, to join them would be strange, utterly strange. Stranger things have happened, but that would be strange. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. This was a special live broadcast. I want to thank the tens of thousands of you that watch this from everywhere. I'm sure that one of those tens of thousands is Rick Fox that watched this either on YouTube, Instagram, that's where he mostly talks, Facebook, Twitter, wherever this is. Thank you for watching. God bless you. And remember, we're having our Sunday. On Sunday, we're having our Cyber Santa. That's 5 o'clock. So just tune in live, and you're going to be able to win gifts and prizes, etc. All right, including gift certificates. We got a bunch of gift certificates we're going to be giving out too, and so gift certificates, all kinds of things, man. Yeah, we done got them pizza and what is this? What is this? Popeyes and it's going to be bigger prizes. Wendy's. Sorry, you're not getting that right. Wendy's. All kinds of gift certificates. All right. We got Fusion gift certificates for the movie theaters. Yep. All kinds of things going to be given out. Electronics, all kinds of prizes going to be given out. And our Cyber Santa, our way to give back and make you smile. And again, it's our funds, not from the taxpayer money, not from that $150,000 a year that the MP give and they use to make people feel like they're doing so good for them. This is what concerned citizens came together and got done. So, Rick Fox, we appreciate the budget of $1 million you're putting together, but I can assure you that Bahamian Evolution and COI up to this time has spent more than that, believe it or not. And so, you're a fellow Bahamian like us. You're investing. We've invested. We're going to continue to invest. God bless you. And it's 803-5995. See you next time, Bahamas.